And I didn't know how to do a lot of the practices. I had never really meditated before. I had never done affirmations. So I opened up 6 internet windows, 6 tabs, and I Googled how to meditate, how to do affirmations, how to visualize, right? And I like found one article for each, kind of read it the night before. The next morning, I set my alarm clock an hour earlier. And here's the crazy part, Mark. And for anybody listening that goes, I'm not a morning person, like you were saying, right? I'm not a morning person. I don't know. Neither was I. And what's interesting is this. When you were a kid, let me ask you this, Mark. Did you celebrate Christmas growing up?
Yeah.
When you were a kid, on the weekend, on an average day, you probably slept in as long as you could. But on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, was it hard to get up out of bed in the morning?
No, it was like leap out of bed, run.
And I realized we can recreate the experience of waking up on Christmas morning every single day of our lives. And I deconstructed that. What made it exciting? We knew why we were waking up. We were excited about why we were waking up. We knew, so as we went to bed feeling excited, anticipating the morning. And what I realized is that our first thought in the morning when our eyes open is almost always the last thought we had before we went to bed. And normally for the average person, it's a stressful thought, a stressful feeling. They're ruminating over an argument with their spouse or something that happened that day. They're freaking out about, the future, the economy. They're worried about waking up the next day. I got a workload tomorrow. I got that meeting, right? And so their last thought before bed is stressful, and that's how they wake up. That night I went to bed for the first time in 6 months, excited. I'm like, dude, this is it. I can't wait. And I woke up the next morning like a kid on Christmas. I jumped out of bed. I went in the living room, did all 6 practices, did them poorly. Like I didn't know how to meditate. Affirmations felt super goofy, on and on. But at the end of that hour, Mark, I was like, I felt so energized. And again, keep in mind, this is after 6 months of like a downward spiral into depression and financial ruin. And right. But that morning, I was like, if I start every day like this, it's only a matter of time before I become the person that I need to be to create what I want for my life. And to wrap the story up, I was thinking of 1 year. I was thinking, okay, the compound effect. I'll get 1% better every day. Within a year, I can turn all of this around. And it happened in less than 2 months. In less than 2 months, I more than doubled my income in the worst recession of my lifetime. My physical, I hadn't exercised in 6 months. I asked myself, what would level 10 fitness look like? I go, well, I hate running. I've never run more than a mile, and that was only when it was required every year in PE class. What if I ran a marathon? I don't even know the person I'd have to become to run a marathon. I don't know that guy. I don't know that version of myself, right? But I ended up committing to run a 52-mile double marathon and started training for it, and then, did it 6 months later. And my depression went away, not in 2 months, but on day one, because the hopelessness that I had been, nurturing for 6 months, the first miracle morning I did, and it wasn't even called the miracle morning, but I went, this is it. This is the thing that's going to change everything. So I wasn't depressed anymore. I was excited. I was hopeful. And I went to my wife after the 2-month mark because I signed on 2 clients that day, which officially doubled my income. And I said, sweetheart, I just signed on 2 clients. We've doubled our income since I started this morning routine in 2 months. It feels like a freaking miracle. And she goes, it's your miracle morning. And I go, I like that, miracle morning.